And we welcome you here live to the Brevard Sports Network as we have a tremendous Week 1 matchup between the Merritt Island Mustangs and the Cocoa Tigers here at the home of the Mustangs, aka the O-Dome. And the atmosphere here tonight is electric. And the fans are boosted up for this Week 1 matchup going against the Cocoa Tigers, the reigning, defending, three-time state championship winning team. My name's Chase Alexander here tonight with my broadcasting partner, Brian Kelly. Brian, it's our first time working together. I'm pumped up to get this season going, and I know you were at the Cocoa game last week. Tell me a little about how that game unfolded and why Cocoa struggled so much on the offensive side of the ball.
Honestly, it was a good defensive battle between both the teams. You got to give your credit to Bradford, who came in there, came into Coco's house, and kind of gave him some trouble. Cocoa had a good offensive game for the most part. They were able to get drives into the red zone, but they just stalled out near the end of those drives, forcing the kids to set up for field goals instead of touchdowns.
Yeah, and for Merritt Island, it's kind of the polar opposite. Merritt Island lost by 25 points against Fort Pierce Central last week, and they allowed 6 passing touchdowns. So a bounce back for the Cocoa Tigers. If it's going to come against this Merritt Island defense.
Absolutely, but I think you're going to see Merritt Island. You might see a little bit more grit. Obviously, it's the home opener. Obviously, it's a tradition rivalry. You're going to play a little harder. You're going to see a little bit more grit. You're going to want to show out for the fans. So, honestly, I think we're in for a good one tonight between the Tigers and the Minutemen.
As we get set for kickoff here, the Mustangs, coached by Coach Tyler Murray in his 4th season, 19-14 in his career at Merritt Island. Last year, the Mustangs had a successful season, 7-4, and lost in overtime to an amazing Titusville team in the regional quarterfinals. And the Merritt Island Mustangs are in a tough district this year with Titusville and Palm Bay, and also O'Galley. So a district championship this year is definitely the goal for the Mustangs, but definitely going to be hard to capture that title this year.
Absolutely, but iron sharpens iron. You got to be the best to beat the best, or beat the best to be the best.
Absolutely. And Merritt Island set to kick it away to the Tigers. And the kicker for the Stangs is going to be number 14, Liam Miller, the junior. Back to return for the Tigers is number 3, Kanan McCarthy, the running back, and number 1, C.J. Hester. We'll talk more on C.J. Hester later, but that man is a stud. I'm sure we'll be calling his name a lot tonight. And coaching for the Tigers this season will be Coach Snyder. 8th season for him in this Tigers organization, 75-18 record. Unbelievable. And that one's booted away, kind of a short kick, fielded by McCarthy. McCarthy trying to get through, no blocking, swarmed by that Mustang special teams. And the Tigers will start at their own 21-yard line, trying to get back on pace with only scoring 1 touchdown last week against Bradford.
Yeah, and like we said in the intro, it wasn't their offense that was necessarily the problem. They just stalled out a little bit in the red zone. They can get it to the red zone. The question is, can they execute? Can they punch the ball in?
Absolutely. And as for Merritt Island, as we said, 6 passing touchdowns against them last week. So the quarterback for the Cocoa Tigers, the junior, Champ Smith, has some big shoes to fill in the place of Brady Hart. That was the quarterback last year. Now at Texas A&M, running quarterback, which is incredible. Smith starts in the gun. Looks to pass outside. A little bit past the sticks. Nice tackle that time by William Boutte, the junior for Merritt Island. Quick little 6-yard gain, or 4-yard gain, excuse me, for the Tigers. And something about Merritt Island that allowed that 6 passing touchdowns is their pass rush. Last year, Merritt Island had only 12 sacks and 11 interceptions. That is something you rarely ever see. You never want to have more interceptions, or at least close to the amount of interceptions you do have sacks. So one thing they're definitely focused on is definitely improving that pass rush. coming up this season. As Coco subbing some people in. Number 17 running to the bottom of your screen. That's Jaden Mall. Smith with the running back to his right. Fakes the handoff. Quick fire. He's going to fight for the first down. He's going to get it and some more. Nice little gain of about 10 yards for the Tigers.
And it's kind of similar to what we saw last week. They would get some good chunks on the passing plays, get the offense going early. And that's kind of what they need to do today, but they also need to capitalize and execute on these offensive drives.
And the Tigers moving fast here, and that's what Champ Smith likes. He likes to quick fire that ball out of there. And again, it's going to be number 14, Jamal Smith, with his second catch of the game, and that's good for another 5 yards. The hurry-up offense continues here for Coco. Smith takes a same exact play to Smith, and the Merritt Island Mustangs cannot stop it. Another gain of 10 for the Tigers. That time, number 11, Zay Hawkins. Same play, different guy. Smith does not want this to stop. He's not even looking at the sideline. He's saying, let's run this play again.
I mean, they're just absolutely like a well-oiled machine now with this drive.
Smith now looking for the deep shot. Set him up with the short stuff. Going deep. He's got him down the sideline just a bit out of bounds. And Zay Hawkins had a step on the DB there, number 2, Zachary Olson. If that ball was well placed, that was a quick touchdown for the Tigers.
And, you know, after all those, like, short bubble screens, I like the attempt at the deep shot. Just a little bit off, but good aggression by this Coco Tiger offense early.
Now Smith in the empty. He's got five wide receivers out. Another quick little screen. That time to number 21, but that time he's swallowed by the defensive back for the Merritt Island Mustangs. That's number 40, Zachary Olson. Smith wants to run again. 3rd and 1 now for the Tigers. They're still going to say empty, which is pretty surprising. They might go back to that screen. Definitely 4-down territory here for the Tigers. Smith takes a snap. Looking deep. He's got all day to throw across the middle of the field. Hit, but hung on to. What a grab that time by Jamal Smith. And Smith behind all of this drive for the Coco Tigers. Champ takes a snap, handoff. First run of this drive, and it's going absolutely nowhere. Nice job by number 90, Miami Coughlin, the senior, to shred off that tackle and make a nice tackle for loss or no gain on the play.
That's good. The Mustangs really needed a play to go their way. They needed something to slow down the pace because Coco's been firing on all cylinders here, giving them no room with this hurry-up offense.
Absolutely. Smith again in the gun. Free rusher. It's going to be a screen pass outside. He's turning up the sideline, pushed out of bounds, and there's going to be a flag. They're going to get, I believe, they're going to get Troy Silvers on for holding on the outside. Screen pass that time was to Javion Scott. It's going to be a holding on the Tigers. That's going to go back 10 yards. It's going to make it a 2nd and 20. Excuse me, 2nd and 15, now that new rule. Smith takes a snap, play action, pass rush, get into Smith. That's going to be a high archer, and a nice defensive play that time by number 2, Zachary Olson. The senior all over that rainbow ball to the outside by Smith. Zachary Olson's been targeted early in this game, but nice bounce back to make it 3rd and 15 for the Tigers after the drive was moving so effortlessly. And they almost got him off sides, but no offensive line moved for the Tigers. That would have been a free 5. As Smith gets the call from the sideline, takes the snap. Another play action over the middle of the field and dropped. He had Silvers on, but the play by Devontae Peterson at the strong safety position knocked it away, and that's going to force the Tigers to punt as what turned out to be a drive with no points. Like you were saying earlier, they can get down the field, but once they get into that red zone or into their own territory, they struggle.
And all it takes is just a couple of negative plays, like you saw, the screenplay got blown up, and then the penalty. That really kills a drive that was going so well for Cocoa just a couple minutes ago.
Nice job by the Mustangs defense to answer back and really slow down Coco's pace and get that ball back. As having a talk with the ref. Back to return for the Mustangs. They got two back there. They got Kamar Fielder number 6. And this time it's going to go to number 3. And he's going to field it. Wow, I'm sure his special teams coach did not like that he fielded that ball. Probably would have rolled into the end zone, but heads up play to get a couple more yards there. Definitely risky, but Keith Hamilton that time was on the return for the Mustangs. And for the first time this season, week 1, we're going to see Kevin Verpale take the field for the Mustangs, the junior. Verpale last year as a senior threw for 14 touchdowns and just only 4 interceptions in his career. And his top target will be reunited with him this year, Dontarius Robinson, who hauled in 758 yards and half of Verpale's touchdowns with 7 TDs for Robinson. Verpale in the gun, 4-man front for Cocoa. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and that's going absolutely nowhere. And it's time we talk about this dark side defense for the Cocoa Tigers. This team is anchored by their secondary. You have you have Darius D3 Phillips, DB. He's strong coverage skills. You got CJ Hester, the DB, the 4-star Florida commit. It looks like we have somebody jogging off the field, a little substitution here. You got Duran Golford, relentless playmaker and committed to the University of Warner. O'Keefe Battle, physical fearless with 81 tackles last season from the defensive back position.
And they've definitely earned the name Dark Side Defense after last week, only holding Bradford to 1 scoring drive, which was a touchdown in a 2-minute drill. So other than that, they played like an outstanding unit, well-oiled machine, and looking to anchor this Cocoa Tigers team this year.
And Verpale looked to motion the whole left side of the receiving core. Now he's going to go 1 back in the backfield, tight end, lined up right over that right tackle. Verpale takes the snap, hands it off, and again, going absolutely nowhere. That time, number 42 for the Tigers eats it up, Jermaine Waters. And to get down into the trenches for the Tigers this season, they got Tyone Jacobs, the linebacker, committed to FAU this year. And again, just miscommunication. Seems like they're trying to figure some stuff out on offense. This is week 1, so pretty common. You like to get all that stuff out during the Kickoff Classic, but it does happen first drive of the game and against an intimidating defense, an intimidating opponent, the 3-time state championship winners. And at this timeout break, I'd like to thank our sponsor today, Tales at the Bakery. Tales at the Bakery opened in 2016 in historic Cocoa Village. For more than 6 years, Tales has been a favorite destination for pets and pet parents, and they invite you and your 4-legged friends to visit. For more information, you can visit online at www.talesatthebakery.com, and you can call 321-305-4584. Thank you to Tales at the Bakery, and Gamers R Us is our other sponsor tonight. And they're going to go way spread Two receivers outside of the hashes on each side of the field. Verpale's pockets collapse, going to roll right, sling it, almost intercepted, but knocked away by number 20. O'Keefe battle, and we talked about him being a fierce tackler, but he can do it on the pass breakup side as well. And now we're going to get an official timeout for a water break. So a little bit, these programs, they both have great, deep history. And this fan base here at Merritt Island is always going to show up. They're always going to be loud here at the O-Dome. And you see them ride up with their golf carts, and, you know, they're all kind of, it's like a community out here, the way that they rally for their team, their hometown team. And the same goes for Cocoa. I mean, Cocoa is the best team in the county, has been the best team in the county. And the only challenger as of late, even last season, they weren't really challenged. The only challenge this season they really have in this county is O'Gallic. They have that reputation where they can be called the best team in the county all the time.
Absolutely, and it might sound cliche, but I really feel like at the tail end of that last drive when Merritt Island was starting to get some positive plays, you could feel the crowd like almost boosting them, giving them a little bit more of an edge. And it's really loud up here. They're really bringing it. Merritt Island has a great fan base. Honestly, I expect them to play a bit of a role tonight.
And they're going to need all the support they can get against this Cocoa Tigers football team as they're going to punt from their own end zone. It's going to be Liam Miller to punt. They're going to motion on the punt. High snap, caught, and booted away toward the returner. Returner caught, and he's eaten. Oh, my goodness. He was all over. He got a fair catch. Number 6, Kamar Fielder. All over that return. Tigers still end up with good field position in opposing territory, starting at the Mustangs' 48-yard line.
And yeah, we go back to the crowd. I mean, Cocoa traveled pretty well too tonight. They have a pretty nice. Obviously, when you're winning, it's easy to show love to your team, but they travel very well. And, makes up for a pretty good packed house tonight here between both teams.
Yeah, and Cocoa will always have fans no matter where they go. They could go to Orlando. They could go play Jones. They are going to have a crowd.
I mean, we even saw Bradford's not particularly close to Cocoa, but they still made the travel.
Yep.
High school football fans don't doubt their passion at all.
As Smith takes a snap on a little jet sweep, he's going to cut inside for a gain of about 5 yards. On a jet touch pass, that time Jamal Smith again. The Smith-to-Smith connection has been on fire to start this game for the Tigers. About 5 minutes to go here in this first quarter, scoreless. As the handoff, he's going to get upside, and the tackled. Looked like the ball. I thought the ball popped loose, but that was a towel. Thought the ball was loose on the ground. Towel popped loose. Nice carry there by Javion Scott. And a quick first down for the Tigers.
Might have been a flag you saw. Not going to lie. It looks like there's some laundry.
They're going to get Tigers for another holding. I knew something flew. I thought it was a ball, a towel. I don't know what it was. And they get the Tigers for another holding penalty. That's going to set them back another 10 yards. They had a 2nd and 5. They're going to go to a 2nd and 15.
And that last holding was killer on the last drive. We'll see if Cocoa can respond on this one.
Yeah, you're right. Another penalty that's going to set them behind the sticks once again. 2 straight drives, 2 bad penalties. And now they're going to go back. So delay a game against the Mustangs and a holding penalty against the Tigers. So they basically default to each other, and it's still 2nd and 5. No harm done. Replay the down. Smith in the gun. Scott to his right. Smith, another quick bubble outside to Smith. And he's going to be tackled short of that first down marker, or should I say pushed out of bounds right at that first down marker. That time Jamal Smith with the catch again. I think he's got 5 catches to start here. I mean, 5 catches, maybe like 35 yards short, but sweet catches for Jamal Smith. Now Champ Smith looking back at his coach, Coach Snyder and Coach Franco, running the offense for the Tigers. Smith, another quick sub, this time to the opposite side of the field. Caught, gets upfield, gets the first down, breaks another tackle. He's going to show him the stiff arm and run out of bounds with a nice gain of about 12 yards that time by Tank White. Fielder pushes him out of bounds, but not after a first down for the Tigers.
And we saw some of that screen game last week against Bradford, but not to this extent. Coco's finding success with it, and they're daring Merritt Island to find a way to stop it, and so far they haven't.
And we already saw it earlier in this game, but that screen game is going to open up the deep ball. It's going to open up the middle of the field. It's going to make those defensive backs try to press. This time, fake jet pass, and it's wide open for Scott. He lowers his shoulder, and nice tackle, though. Tried to outman Fielder, but Fielder able to bring him down. Still going to be another first down for the Cocoa Tigers as they enter the red zone.
And you got to wonder on like a 3rd and short where he only got like 6 or 7 yards. If they didn't commit that delay of game penalty, maybe we're looking at a punt instead of a drive in the red zone.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at Merritt Island's 12-yard line. Again, Scott all over it, but the Mustangs predicted the run play that time. Big 97, Demarion Thomas, the senior. And number 60, Alex Schaefer, all over that play for the Mustangs. That's going to be a loss of 2 for the Tigers. Sets them back to about a 2nd and 12, and that first down marker right at that 2-yard line for the Mustangs. Smith back to pass. Quick pass out to Scott, and Scott shakes off a tackle, still stays in bounds, then pushed out. Gain of about 6 yards. It's going to make it a 2nd and 5, and it's going to be a holding or a face mask penalty against the Mustangs. So that'll be half a distance to the goal. Should be a first down. And that is going to give Cocoa a fresh set of downs. 1st and goal from Merritt Island's 4. Let's see if they pound it with Scott. They do, but that time the blitzing linebacker able to light him up in the backfield. Number 40.
And that was just a free shot. He had a whole head of steam. Beautiful tackle, hoping to break up some of this Cocoa momentum.
Tigers now after a loss of about 4 yards. And they're going to take a timeout to discuss as they struggle here to get in the end zone. 2:50 left to go here in the first quarter. And kind of not what I expected coming into this game. You know, Merritt Island staying strong. I know it's only the 2nd drive for Cocoa, but they've shown resilience. They've been able to draw some penalties from Cocoa, and they haven't committed any penalties themselves. And they've stayed strong, and they stayed true to what they know, and that's stopping the run.
Absolutely, and you really saw it in a culmination on that drive, especially he came in unblocked, beautiful. And you know, like you said, half a distance to the goal, knocking on the door. They really need a big play like that, and now we're looking at about the 5-yard line as opposed to the 2 or 3.
We got some great games going on here on the Brevard Sports Network. Of course, we got Cocoa versus Merritt Island. We got Rockledge versus Vieira. We got Melbourne versus Cocoa Beach. And the other game was Titusville versus Heritage. So some great week 1 games here on Brevard Sports Network, and great for the county. Just to have football back, it's this feeling that I get like inside my stomach. You know, you hear the band playing, the crowd going crazy, you hear the cowbells. It's all just such a great feeling. I'm glad that football is back. Smith still in the gun. Scott to his right. 4 receivers out wide. Motion Smith, he's going to roll right. He's going to look to the corner of the end zone. Caught by Silverzon. Oh, he broke it up. He did not And the referees ruled out a catch. Looked like to me knocked it out before he really had possession of that football. Looks like the referees are talking about it. What's the ruling?
That just was not a catch.
And they ended up ruling it a touchdown. I mean, that was a tough call to make from here. They're on the field, so they saw it better, but didn't seem like he had possession. But nonetheless, it's going to be a touchdown for the Cocoa Tigers. Troy Silverson. So Smith to Silverson, and Silverson's actually the backup quarterback for these Tigers. As number 17, the kicker knocks it through, makes it 7-0 here with 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. Keelan Gonzalez, the kicker. And Merritt Island now has to strike back.
Lost it once he went into the corner of the end zone.
And that was something different we've seen from the Cocoa Tigers. Haven't seen them put Champ Smith on the move so far in this game. And they did, and it was a beautiful throw over the middle, caught by Silverzon in the end zone for the touchdown.
And despite giving up the touchdown, I think both teams can walk away from that drive with good things to write home about. Obviously, Cocoa scored the touchdown. They got into the end zone. They were able to capitalize on the short field position. But as for Merritt Island, they had some good plays. They had some momentum plays. Obviously, didn't get the stop they wanted, but hopefully they can build on that on the defensive end.
Gonzalez going to kick it away to the returners, Fielder and Monroe. And Fielder brings it out to about the 25-yard line. So decent starting field position for the Mustangs as they look to answer back the first quarter score by the Tigers.
This time around they have a little bit more breathing room, so maybe open up the offense a little more, open up the game plan, see if they have a little more momentum here in the second drive.
And that offensive line for the Mustangs is up for some tough competition tonight, as we already saw in that first drive, just kind of pushed back. Nasty play by the Tigers, just aggressive down in the trenches. The trenches is what really wins ball games when it comes down to the thick of things. Verpale in the gun. Monroe to his left. Hands it off to Monroe. Tries to get outside, but great contained by this Tigers defense. And it's from the front to the back. All 11 of these guys for the Tigers are after the ball all the time. Duran Guilford, the deep safety, making the tackle, the shoestring tackle, but nonetheless, like I said, they're just closing up gaps in the inside, in the outside. It doesn't matter where they try to run. They're just trying to find something, and they cannot. Verpale in the empty now, kind of directing this offense. The junior leader motions Monroe. High snap caught by Verpale. Quick pass over the middle, caught for a gain of about 4 yards that time. Deshaun Thomas, the tight end. Reception of 4 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs as they need a much needed first down.
Well, that was a big play. Makes it from a 3rd and long to a 3rd and manageable. Now you can hopefully try and take maybe a short pass, long pass. Might not be good enough for a run, but Merritt Island has a few more options as opposed to a 3rd and 10.
Tigers looks like they're manning up on the outside. They're trusting their guys here on 3rd and 6. Verpale surveys the defense, takes a snap, little play action, quick toss outside, dropped. The ball was a little kind of inaccurate at that first down. It was right at that first down marker. Could have been short, could have got it, but nonetheless it's dropped. Brings up 4th and 6, and the Mustangs have to punt here. They cannot put Cocoa in amazing field position to go up 2 scores.
That's just unfortunate because that's the play you want, that's the look you want, it's a spot you want, but fortunately, a little disconnect between the quarterback and receiver, and fortunately have to punt 3 and out.
Miller back to punt for the Stangs. And as I just look out in the crowd, the O-Dome is just getting more filled. There's just more people coming into this ball game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The student section is packed like a can of sardines. They're riding hard for the Mustangs tonight.
And Miller wants no return. Great punt, and it take a Mustangs bounce right out at that 26-yard line. Amazing punt by Liam Miller, the junior.
And you mentioned field position. They had to punt that one for field position. That gives Coco not a really great ideal starting field position given where they stopped him on 3rd down, but now we get to see if Merritt Island can answer back after that Coco touchdown.
As here comes the Tigers taking back over the field, and they have a lot to live up to. This offense last year was absolutely impeccable. Averaged 320 pass yards per game and 119 rushing yards per game. 439 yards per game for this Tigers offense. Smith, quick pass outside to Scott. Scott lets the blocks develop and really nowhere to go after that. Slung down by a couple of Mustangs. Gain of about 3 yards for the Tigers. And this offense has 10 new starters. So you got 11 guys on the field, 10 are new. So that kickoff classic was important for these Tigers. That fall camp was important for these Tigers.
Yes, exactly. Important to work on all the kinks, especially with a new unit. It's hard to keep the continuity from last year when you don't have the same players.
And Scott bounces off a tackle close to that first down marker. Looks like they're going to give it to him. And they are. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers after a great run by Scott. And that'll do it here for the first quarter as the Tigers lead 7-0, threatening to score once again. And again, like to thank our sponsor for the first quarter, Tails at the Bakery. Tails at the Bakery has a variety of fresh treats made on-site. Soft treats and hypoallergenic treats are also available, and they take custom orders and have unique cat and dog wear. For more information, you can look at the bottom of your screen or visit www.tailsatthebakery.com. You can call 321-305-4584. But what they really like is when you visit, and they are easy to find in a historic Cocoa Village at 14 Olander Street. And our sponsor for the second quarter is going to be Gamers R Us. Gamers R Us is back on BSN supporting the Cocoa Tigers. If you have a gamer in your life, you are in luck because Gamer R Us is a growing gaming community focused on card, board, tabletop, and video games. They host casual and competitive tournaments for Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Super, and more. For more information, call Seth at 321-735-7057. Be sure to check them out on Facebook at Gamers R Us. All that information will appear at the bottom of your screen. Thank you to both of our sponsors, Tails at the Bakery and Gamers R Us. Tigers start this second quarter, 1st and 10 at their Merritt Islands. As Smith kind of directing traffic, pushed out of bounds and kind of hit late there. Looked like he was going clearly out of bounds, but I like that by Merritt Island. You don't want to give up anything free, no free yards. If that quarterback looks like he's kind of shimmying that line between out of bounds and inbounds, just give him a little shove out of bounds. That time a gain of 8 for Champ Smith on the scramble, and there's going to be a flag. Delay of game, I think the signal was, but that can't be right.
That's pretty quick for delay of game.
I think they're getting maybe equipment issues. Maybe they talked about it before with Zay Hawkins.
Knee pads.
Knee pads. They got the knee pads, so you got to have your knees covered and knee pads. So that's going to set Coco back another 5 yards for the delay of game penalty.
And again, delay of game penalties, stuff like that, like those aren't effort penalties.
And they got another guy on Merritt Island, so knee pads. I mean, just cover them up.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're obviously looking for him, back-to-back penalties on both sides.
And those are killer, ones that aren't, like if you commit a holding penalty, that's like an effort penalty. But delay a game, stuff like that.
And referees blow the whistle again.
Wow. I'm not even sure.
I have no clue what's going on here. They have 10 men, now they have 11. And now they're look like to their third string safety, so
Yeah.
and another delay of game.
So,
Wow, so that's going to give the Tigers a first down. I have no clue what just happened. Knee pads are a dangerous thing here, week 1 of the high school football season. And that gives the Tigers a fresh set of down, 1st and 10. Quick pass outside to number 21 down the sideline and hit out. Caught by Zaylin Chappell, the wide receiver. Gain of about 5 yards for the Tigers, and those quick passes are deadly to the Mustangs. Tigers moving fast. Smith takes a snap, another quick pass outside. He's going to get to the first down marker. I think they're going to give him a first down. We'll see what the referees say. Again, Chappell with a catch. And the ball is right at that first down marker. So 3rd and inches for the Tigers. Let's see if they just stuff it up the middle here. That's what they're going to do. They're going to give it to Scott. Scott bounces outside, and there's going to be a flag. And he stood up. Whistles are blown. We'll see who this flag is on. It's most likely going to be a holding penalty, and that's what it's going to be, a holding on the Tigers. 3rd consecutive drive where it sets them back another 10 yards from their previous run. And more importantly, it's going to be a 3rd and long instead of what would have been a for sure first down.
yeah, but on the first drive, they couldn't overcome it. The second, they could. So we're about to find out if they can on the 3rd one. But
And the penalties are flying here tonight.
absolutely, yeah.
They are.
Ideally, you clean those up in the kickoff classic, but even in week 1, you could still kind of get away with it a little bit, but still not ideal for either team here.
So now instead of a 3rd and inches, a 3rd and 10 for the Tigers as they try the hard count. Look like they're going to get the call from Coach Franco and Coach Snyder on the sideline. Champ Smith back to pass. The junior surveying the defense. Little out route caught. No, drop. Can't hang on. That was right for a first down, but could not hang on. Targeted receiver that time, Jamal Smith, said sure hands so far all this game. That time couldn't hang on. And the penalty pays dividends for the Mustangs as they're able to capitalize and get the ball back.
Absolutely, you got to give credit to Merritt Island for capitalizing on the Cocoa mistakes. Like you said, that turned it from a 3rd and short from what was a very well-oiled drive into now they're punting at their own 49.
And just not what you see from Cocoa.
No,
Just
not
kind
at
of
all.
unlike this Cocoa Tigers football program, but we'll see if they can get things going. As the punt almost blocks, sky-high punt is going to land about the 25. Bounce back, take a Mustangs bounce. And the Mustangs are going to start at their own 29-yard line to see if they can get their first points on the board of this game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that might be their best starting field position all day.
Yeah, I think you're right. 29, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they can capitalize with this, maybe tie this one up.
And for the Mustangs, they're returning 3 out of 4 of their offensive linemen this year, so still kind of that remaining unit as they're trying to take after Cocoa with these quick passes, but that time it's not working against these defensive backs. Number 1, C.J. Hester at the bottom of that pile. Raphael sets the offense up. Hernandez to his left as the back. Verpel gets the snap. Quick pass outside low, inaccurate pass. Once again by Verpel. That one not even catchable for the intended receiver, Deshaun Thomas.
I think you could definitely tell he was feeling a little bit of the pressure from the Cocoa front, so the ball was a little lower. He had an open man, but fortunately, again, missed the mark just a little bit on that one.
And this Merritt Island offense, very, very junior, senior heavy for this offense. So week one, time to get out you're going against the Tigers. You had a couple drives under your belt. It's time to get going. Time to hit these passes in stride and make some leeway on this Tigers defense. Hernandez lined up to his left again. Verpale takes a snap, 3rd and 9. Pass rush all over Verpale. That time, number 42, Jermaine Waters for the Cocoa Tigers. And they try to double him with the running back coming across, but just no chance. Verpale stepped right into that sack by Waters in this dark side defense. So a quick 3 and out results in a 4th and 10 or 4th and 12, and the Mustangs are gonna punt.
And yeah, maybe like we said earlier, the Holds have held the offense back, but the Cocoa defense has been picking up exactly where they left off last week. The dark side defense again earning their stripes this week, just like they did against Bradford.
Again, Miller back to punt. Let's see if he sticks to that same strategy of not letting any returns from the Tigers special teams. Snap right on the money. Kick looks like it's going to be returned. Well, fair caught, and it's caught right at the Tigers' 32-yard line. And Duran Guilford.
It's another very beautiful punt given.
And looks like we got a flag. It's going to be on. See what the referees say. And it's going to be looks like it's going to be a holding on Cocoa. So that'll move them 10 back from the 32, put them at the 22. See if that's the call.
And again, it might not have made a huge difference on that play alone. You still start deepish in your own territory, but it's just the principle of all these flags piling up in a game that matters. Last week you could write off, oh, it's the Kickoff Classic, but now this is for real. Cocoa not looking the greatest, not the sharpest.
Yeah, absolutely. And although the Tigers are winning, they're only winning by 7 points. Feels like they should be up more.
Absolutely.
But penalties, and I know Coach Snyder is going to probably rip this team a new one if they can't get things going before the second half starts.
Especially as a team with the highest standards as them, they need to clean this up.
Smith, a little screen pass to Scott. Scott's got blockers. And, man, Tavion Scott, how elusive is he? It seems like any arm tackle, it's not going to tackle him. He's just going to kind of dip his shoulder, get out of the way, and gain some extra yards.
Yeah, you have to give a second, maybe even a third effort to get some of these Cocoa players down. That's just how athletic and how talented these guys are.
And the referees are talking about something. Could be another penalty. I don't know who it's going to be on. And it's going to be a legal man downfield for the Tigers. That's going to send them back another 5 yards, put them at the 17-yard line. They started the punt at the 32. They are now at the 17-yard line.
That's unfortunate. Another great play taken away because of a penalty. Unfortunate for Cocoa. Now they're looking at a 1st and 15.
I think I just saw a water bottle fly through the air, land in that student section.
They're throwing beach balls, little floaties, all this.
Yeah, I think it's like beach night or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's definitely a lively crowd for sure.
Absolutely.
So 1st and 15, backed up to the 17. Or excuse me, the 13-yard line. That was a 10-yard penalty. Smith takes a snap. He's going to fire over the middle field. Caught and hit, but hung on to. Another great catch by Jamal Smith. Champ Smith fired that thing in there, living up to that quick release that we saw against Bradford.
And when Cocoa gets out of their own way, they can really move the football down the field like we just saw in this last play, like we saw in the play before that was called back by a penalty.
And they get back to the initial line of scrimmage with that gain. That time the run going absolutely nowhere. Swallowed by Jarvis Howe, the senior linebacker for the Mustangs. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Looks like it might be 2nd and 10. I think they moved the 6 on that last one.
I think they did. You're right. So 2nd and 10. They got a 1st down on that play to Jamal Smith over the middle of the field. Champ throws back, little outside comeback, but just another inaccurate ball. Out of the reach that time for the intended receiver, Zay Hawkins. And now 3rd and long for the Cocoa Tigers.
those out routes not working well, but not as well as the screen passes that Coco's been getting off today.
7:20 to go here in the second quarter. Smith rolling out right. This is how they scored the touchdown. He's going to plant his feet, fire a deep ball into triple coverage. Intercepted by the Mustangs, and he rips the tackle. That's Kamar Fielder. He's going to look for a return. This is their return man. He's got the blocks going past the 50, up to the 40, up to the 30. Juking through defenders all the way back into Cocoa Tigers territory. What a return and an interception by Kamar Fielder.
Honestly, that's the type of play that can change the tides of a game. You see Cocoa playing around with their foot a little bit. Now they get burned off a bad interception, and Merritt Island is set up beautifully in Cocoa territory.
And, looks like they're getting a flag on Merritt Island. The stripes are disgusting. Let's see what they say. This would be a huge heartbreaker for the Mustangs.
I mean, that was a huge return. You saw the crowd was getting into it. I don't know. This would be a big callback. They're calling back.
See what the white hat says. He's going to talk to Coach Murray. And are we not going to get a signal? So, holding on the Merritt Island Mustangs, and that is devastating. So devastating. Not only was that a 3rd and 10, that gives the Cocoa Tigers an automatic first down.
I think I heard over the loudspeaker, yeah, it might be Merritt.
Oh, okay, after the interception. It's going to bring a 10 back from the return. A lot of confusion going on. No really signals. We're just kind of hearing from the booth. So sorry about that confusion, but it's going to be Mustangs ball. So not as great, but still great for the Mustangs as they start in Tigers territory. Verpail and the Stangs offense looking to get their first points of the season. That time the handoff up the gut. Good for about 6. Alon Adams that time on the carry, the junior running back.
That was probably their best run of the game so far. See if they can string a little momentum here on 2nd and short.
And they really do have all the momentum. If it wasn't for those flags, this team would probably score. Now it's going to be tough to get back into that rhythm against this dark side defense.
If there was ever a drive to do it, though.
That's right, absolutely. Verpail motions the receiver. He's going to hand it off to number 13. Number 13 is going to get that first down and more. Drew Sarver, the junior receiver on the jet motion. And we are going to get a water break, I believe, so officials timeout. As 6:11 remains here in the second quarter. And we're back from the water break. Verpail's got a wide open receiver, turns upfield, an aggressive tackle by the Tigers defensive back. That time the Florida commit just bullied number 18, Femi Howard. Got under his pads. The lower man always wins in football, and that time he absolutely won. Still a gain of 5.
Yeah, give credit to him. He climbed the ladder for that one, but explosive tackle by the Florida commit.
It's going to be a 2nd and 4 for the Mustangs, as this is the first time they've even sniffed the red zone. And in this week 1 matchup. Raphael again motions the receiver. This time it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and again just powering forward. Keep going that pile. The offensive line keeps pushing. It's going to be a first down and plenty of more for these Mustangs as they reach the 10-yard line and are 10 yards away from their first score of the season. Aylin Adams again. Tigers got to get that. I don't think they got him off the field. Again, Adams is going to run right up the middle, and they did not get that substitute off the field in time. It's going to be a first down and 5 yards for the Mustangs.
Honestly, everything going right for Merritt Island on this drive. This is the type of drive you want to have where you have short field position on a team like Cocoa. Yeah, half the distance.
So first and goal, this is going to start from their 5-yard line. And I don't see why they just wouldn't stick running the ball with Adams. Seems to be proven as a power back and just stuff it up that middle. They're going to stay in the gun. 3 receivers out left. They're going to bring a motion in to that's Sarver to his right. Adams to his left, motion Sarver. He's going to sling it out to Sarver, and they got the block. He's going to lower his shoulder, and great tackle that time. See if I can get that number. They're going to say Tyon Jacobs with the tackle. The linebacker coming in the backfield, covering the running back out of the backfield. That kind in orbit motion, able to swing it out. They had the blocking with the receiver on the outside. Just couldn't get it done. Now second and goal from the 3. And it looks like they're going to go Wildcat. And they are. He's going to fall short. No, he's going to get in. First touchdown of the season comes from the junior, Deshaun Thomas. And a little Wildcat option. And there's going to be a flag. There's a flag in the end zone. I don't know if that was after the play or before. Deshaun Thomas gets in the end zone for the Mustangs. And they're an extra point away from tying this game against the Tigers. It's going to be unsportsmanlike against Merritt Island, so that's probably going to be enforced on this extra point attempt. It could be enforced on the extra point or the kickoff. We'll see. I think it's going to be enforced on the kickoff. And Miller, the lefty kicker, seemed to have a sure leg so far in this game. That one straight through over the scoreboard. And it is a tie game here at the O-Dome. And this Merritt Island crowd is, the word rowdy does not describe how rowdy this crowd is. It is insane here at the O-Dome as the Tigers are playing sloppy football, something we haven't seen from Cocoa in who knows how long. So they have definitely some things to sort out. They like to finish this half with a touchdown drive. 3:52 to go. We'll see what the Tigers can do with the ball, trying to answer back that touchdown drive by the Mustangs. And you know, that drive started with that interception thrown into triple coverage. On the run, Chance Smith just unloaded a ball into triple coverage.
Absolutely, and that return really made the difference because if they stand up on their own 40 as opposed to Coco's 40, we're talking about maybe a punt, maybe a field goal, but instead, I mean, honestly, I don't think they had a bad play on that drive. Merritt Island was just in complete control every single snap of that play. And now you're looking at a tie ball game with 4 minutes to go in the half. Not the type of thing you want to do, throw the ball in triple coverage, give momentum back to a rowdy Merritt Island crowd.
Again, this unsportsmanlike against Merritt Island is going to be enforced on a kickoff, so it's going to give Cocoa good field position, especially if they can get a great return here. Back to receive is C.J. Hester for the Tigers, along with number 4, I believe, Troy Silverzon is back there.
There's no secret Merritt Island showing up, but I really honestly feel like the team, especially the offense, was really feeding into their cheers every single play, and it kind of encourage them to go extra yard or two, and it really ended off with that capitalization on that touchdown. But now we got a good ball game here.
Absolutely. And Miller, the lefty, off to kick, and it's going to be a street and line drive. Hester, he hit the ball. It's a live ball. Hester's going to jump on it, but Mustangs are rallying down the field, and that looked like a balk in the back, but they're not going to throw the penalty. And they're going to push Hester out of bounds at their own 40-yard line. I am really surprised we did not see some laundry thrown right there.
Especially with how much has been thrown today, I thought they were going to call that for sure.
Yes, yes. But nonetheless, Cocoa catches a break, and they start with great field position at their own 40-yard line.
If you're Cocoa, I feel like you have to answer this. You have to settle the crowd down. You've already stalled on enough drives. You got to put an exclamation mark on this half. Go into half with the lead. Otherwise, you're playing a dangerous game if you can't get some points here.
Absolutely. 3:39 to go. We'll see if the Tigers try to drain this clock out, because the Mustangs do receive the second half kickoff. Don't want to let the Mustangs have time to score again before the half. Champ Smith takes a snap, a little bubble outside to Smith, and quick gain of about 4 that time. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Tigers. So the the Champ Smith to Jamal Smith hookup has been firing on all cylinders so far in this ball game. And again, whistle's blown, play's blown dead, and timeout by the Mustangs. 3:14 to go here in the second. I believe that was the Mustangs' second timeout of the half, so they have one more remaining. I'd like to thank our sponsor, one of our sponsors for this game, Gamers R Us. Gamers R Us is the one-stop place for Magic, The Gathering, DBS, CCG, UFS, Yu-Gi-Oh, board games, card game accessories, Demigon, TCG, One Piece, Flesh and Blood, Pokemon TCG, Dungeons and Dragons, Disney Lorcana, and so much more. For more information on Gamers R Us, make sure to call Seth at 321-735-7057. And be sure to check them out on Facebook at Gamers R Us for the next big and all these deals happening in the store, which is located in Cocoa at 801 Dixon Boulevard.
To go back to a point you said earlier, if you're Cocoa, you can't let Merritt Island double dip here, because momentum is a dangerous thing in sports. It's how upsets happen, and obviously Merritt Island has it all right now. Cocoa's got to weather the storm here and get back in control of this game.
Smith takes a snap. Another quick pass outside. Silver's on. That's going to be a first down for the Tigers, and they're into Mustangs territory at the Mustangs 51-yard line. First and 10, the Tigers are working fast. 3 to go here in the second. Quick pass out to Smith. Nice wrap-up tackle by the defensive back that time, number 3. Keith Hamilton for the Mustangs. Three receivers to the top of your screen. Smith fires it out left. He's going to slip 2. He's going to get the first down and pushed out of bounds. Not after getting the first down that time. Zay Hawkins. Zay Hawkins and Jamal Smith, the go-to targets for Champ Smith. Champ takes snaps, going to hand it off to Scott. And Scott shows him the stiff arm, breaks free, and it's going to take a slew of Mustangs to bring him down. At the bottom of that pile was Javaris Howell for the Mustangs.
That feels like on almost every play it takes multiple 2, 3, 4 efforts to take down the Tigers. That's something that could come into play later as physicality wears you down.
That's a great point. That's an amazing point, actually, because these Tigers are relentless. Smith fires it out quick to Scott, and they just want to get Scott in space. He's got the block and cuts upfield. And again, just another flag. But he just falls forward for an extra 5 yards almost every play. Now flag flew. We'll see if it's something on the tackle or something with the blocks. And it looks like we have a player down for the Tigers, and it's going to be a holding against the Tigers. I'm not sure who's down there.
I think it might be Scott.
And that could be bad news for these Tigers.
I mean, regardless, the penalty is bad news. That's another big play. Gets negated by just an unnecessary penalty. And now, I mean, could stall another Cocoa drive that's looking like it could end in points here.
Minute 49 to go. We have an injury timeout. We hope whoever that Cocoa Tiger is, that he is okay and able to get back in this ball game. But I'd like to thank everybody joining us here on the Brevard Sports Network. Amazing week 1 matchup and an amazing game up to this point through about minute 50 to go here in this first half. 7-7, and the Merritt Island Mustangs are hanging tight with these state championship defending Cocoa Tigers. And it looks like it is Scott who is laying on the field. Hopefully it's just cramps or something. I see him taking a sip of water. We'll see. And you hate to see that. Even if you're Merritt Island, you know, Scott's been kind of tormenting you the whole game, but you want best on best out. That's why you scheduled this Cocoa game. That's why Cocoa scheduled this Merritt Island game. They want the best on the best on the field at all times. So it always sucks to see an injury like this. And during this injury break, we're going to take a look at the scores going across the county. Take a look at our other BSN broadcasts. Heritage at Titusville, and Heritage is up by 2 scores, 13-0 in the second quarter. And Rockledge versus Vieira, that's a big game. Rockledge up 14-7 in the second quarter. So that's a big rivalry for both of those squads, and Scott's back up to his feet. We love to see him walking off on his own power. Great to see. Back to the Cocoa sideline.
Hoping to get back in this one soon.
And if he's not able to return, that is a detrimental loss for the Cocoa Tigers offense, as that has been one of the few bright spots. One of the ways they've gained yards is getting Scott in space and letting him do what he does. So after the holding penalty, it's going to bring up 2nd and 12 for the Tigers. Once again, another penalty sets them back. Champ Smith looks like he does all the time. Going to fire a rainbow ball again into triple coverage and way underthrown by about 5 yards. And if that DB, I believe that was Fielder, if he turned his head, he would have caught that thing like a punt. But great coverage, great bounce back.
Absolutely.
From last week in that kickoff classic where that defensive backfield for the Mustangs were just torn apart.
Yeah, they're holding their own against the state champ nonetheless, but that's a big 3rd down and 12. Hoping to maybe get this ball back with over a minute left in the half.
Minute 35 to go. Merritt Island 1 timeout. Cocoa with 2. Smith back to pass. Pocket collapsing over the middle of the field. Dropped. Another dropped ball by the Tigers. A little bit out of reach, but that's a catchable ball. That's a ball you got to have going down the stretch. And that's a ball he knows he needs as Zay Hawkins, the intended receiver.
And even worse for Cocoa, that stops the clock. It gives Merritt Island about 80 to 90 seconds to work with here. Even if they come away with a field goal, they get the ball to start the second half. And
Smith, the Tigers are going to go for it here on 4th down. I don't know if they're going to run a hard count, and they got the Mustangs. And that's going to be a offsides by the Mustangs, and that sets it up for a 4th and 7. So now instead of a 4th and 12, they have a 4th and 7, and the Tigers now looking to capitalize on that penalty. Smith again tries the hard count. That time the Mustangs don't bite. Getting the call from Coach Franco and Coach Snyder. Clock stopped at 1 minute and 29 seconds. Champ Smith steps up in the pocket. He's got room to scramble. Gets down before he takes a big hit. And they're going to throw a flag. Now, he did look like he was sliding, so I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt of the flag there. But that is right at the first down marker. That is a tough play for a defensive player to hold back and not lay the wood there. And the refs are discussing it. That is right at that first down marker. That's a tough call to make.
Obviously, they have a better look than us, but I don't know. I think it might have been a clean play, but obviously very close to the first down mark.
And they're gonna get the personal foul on the Mustangs defense. So that's gonna set the Tigers up inside the red zone. 15 yards to the end of that play. First fresh set of downs inside the red zone for the Tigers.
I mean, regardless of if you agree with that call, the call before with the jumping off sides, that one was the real killer because you're not running a QB draw up the middle on 4th and 12 as opposed to 4th and 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as much as that sucks, you kind of got to look back to the offsides one, and that's where the blame really lies, I feel.
So now the Tigers in great position to strike here and take the lead with 1:15 to go here in the second quarter. Smith gets a call from the sideline, looks to be fine after taking that big hit. Smith has a man over the middle, and it's dropped. Great defense that time by the deep safety, Devontae Peterson. It looked like he was going to go to the flat there, but good job by the safety not to jump on that flat and stay true to his zone and cover that slant route.
There's another big drop. I mean, that's just back-to-back plays. You've seen drops from the Cocoa receivers. They've gotten open, they've gotten looks, just not capitalizing and executing.
59 seconds remain here. 2nd and 10. Smith rolls out right and had a receiver open, overthrew him, and not a catchable ball that time for Tank White. If he hit him in the chest there, that was a first down right at that 5-yard line. So again, more red zone struggles from these Cocoa Tigers, something that they're not familiar with. Smith tries the hard count, getting the call from coach on the sideline. And the Tigers are going to take their second timeout of the half with 51 seconds to go here in the first half. And credit to this Merritt Island defense.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
tremendous bounce back. Didn't personally see the game, but all I've heard is that they were ripped to shreds by Fort Pierce Central. And I know Fort Pierce Central is a good team, but the way that they're playing right now, I know the Cocoa Tigers are struggling on offense with penalties, but the way that they're staying resilient is something to be amazed at.
Like you said, part of it is Cocoa struggles, but also you got to tip your cap to Merritt Island. They're bending but not breaking. They're stepping up when it matters the most, when the chips kind of gets a little tighter down in the red zone. But you got to give them credit, but also some of it is admittedly due to some Cocoa mistakes on the offensive side of the ball.
Again, thanks to Gamers R Us for sponsoring this game. Located in Cocoa. All their information at the bottom of your screen. And we thank you all for joining us for this amazing first half. Not over yet. Tigers looking to score with 51 seconds left. 3rd and 10. First down marker inside that 5-yard line. Wide receiver spread out to the left side of your screen. Smith takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff. And it's going to hand off the middle for no gain. Jarvis Howell, one of the defenders on the play. And filling in for Scott is McCarthy, number 3. So this is where they lose Scott. This is where they can throw that quick pass to the outside, make a couple men miss, and fall forward for another 5 more yards.
And yeah, the ball spotted on, I believe, the 13, so it looks like likely it will be a field goal situation. So even though it kind of sucks, you were probably going to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead. If they can go 10-7, it's still a pretty good situation for Merritt Island getting the ball back in the second half.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're Merritt Island, you have to be thrilled. I mean, you get a 50-50 call at that first down marker on the 4th and 7. And you know, that really set them back, but they responded. They've responded. They forced a field goal here, a field goal attempt. Still hasn't gone through the uprights, but just tremendous effort, tremendous determination by this Merritt Island defense.
And exactly the response to a call that you think is controversial, I think really sets the tone for the game and even for the half right here. As you see, Merritt Island's going to walk away only holding him to the field goal.
It's going to be a 30-yard kick, and it's up and it's good with plenty of room to spare. And the MVP from the Kickoff Classic, Keenan Gonzalez, knocks through another field goal to add to his resume. It's going to be 10-7. The Tigers lead the Merritt Island Mustangs. Mustangs have 40 seconds and 1 timeout to see if they can maybe answer that. They're definitely going to need a good return here. And one guy to do that is Kamar Fielder. We've seen on the interception. He's definitely electrifying. Let's see if he can show it out on this kickoff return. Merritt Island looked like they ran to the wrong side of the field. I was a little bit confused what was going on there, but they just mixed up their sides of the field. As the student section gets rowdy with a "I believe that we will win" chance. And as a fan of the Mustangs, as the coaches, you just can't have nothing but a smile on your face coming out of this half.
And they haven't sat down this whole game. They've been in it every single play. Even the parents, grandparents, everyone's been in this game so far for Merritt Island.
Now, if they could finish this drive 37 seconds to go with a field goal, tie it up, then get the ball back at half, that would be huge for these Mustangs.
Your dream scenario.
Gonzalez with a little squib kick, and it's off the hands. He's going to jump on it as smart play by the Tigers special teams unit to not allow Kamar Fielder to return that football and squib it. And the Mustangs are going to take over at their own, looks like it's going to be 28-yard line. And if you're the Merritt Island offense, what are you drawing up here? Are you being aggressive? Are you willing to throw the ball down the field and let an interception happen?
It's hard because I feel like you obviously might not have expected to be this close, so you might want to go a little more conservative with 30 seconds on the clock. But also I could see the argument for wanting to, try and go and punch in a field goal here. I can see both arguments. We're about to find out which one Merritt Island chooses, though. But either way, I think it's justifiable.
And with the stoutness of this defensive back and their ability to run the football, like return the football, is definitely a dangerous play. We'll see what they decide to do here. 3 receivers to the top of your screen in a bunch formation.
But I think knowing that you're getting the ball back in the second half definitely changes your strategy for sure.
Verpales dropping back to pass. It's going to be a quick pass out to Adams. Almost loses the football and stays in bounds. Not what the coach wanted there for sure. Definitely wanted him to go out. Now I think is the time where they just, let's send it to half. We're okay with how this half ended. No need to risk anything here. 12 seconds in counting for Verpale and the Mustangs. He's going to fire it over the middle. He's going to get it to about the 50, past the 50, 5 seconds to go. Timeout by the Mustangs. 4 seconds remaining. Are they not? They're not going to call a timeout.
Looks like they're out of timeouts.
And they're going to let this go. And the clock's hit 0. I could have sworn they had one more timeout. I'm not sure what the confusion is here. I don't know what the clock is at 0s. I don't know what's going on here. Are they giving them? So they started the clock before the chains were set, untimed down, and they decide to spike it with 1 second. That was a risky play. One more half a second, and you were going to halftime. But spike the ball. I assume they're going to try a little Hail Mary attempt here from about the 50-yard line. Verpale's got to have a cannon in him. We'll see what he's got. Femi Howard Jr. to the bottom of your screen 3 receivers to the top, including number 8, Deshaun Thomas. Looks like a great jump ball threat to me. And we're going to get a timeout, Coco, their final timeout of the half. Discuss things over. I feel like this last 2 minutes has been the longest part of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
It was longer than the first quarter.
We've had
I think.
injuries, penalties, and all this different stuff, but at the end of the day, we're looking at a pretty good first half. Merritt Island was able to snatch a big interception, get some momentum, and now that they have, it's hard to play with house money when you're losing, but since they don't have to give it back to Coco to start the second half, I feel like they're not as eager to score on this drive, if that makes sense.
They just got to make sure that they're on their toes, ready for a return if one of those Coco defensive backs snags it.
Yeah, can't be having a Hail Mary like
that would be a nightmare scenario if that were to happen for the Mustangs.
Especially after all the momentum you picked up. Played a great tight first half.
4 receivers out wide, one running back in the backfield. Look like the Tigers are just going to go with a 4-man rush, see if that gets it done for them. They're going to motion Hamilton. And the Tigers bringing all-out pressure and a screen pass that was deflected by the lineman. Intended receiver that time for Rondé Monroe. And very anticlimactic end to the first half, but that's how the first half's going to end. Coco Tigers lead 10-7 against the Merritt Island Mustangs. All right, and we welcome you back here live to the Brevard Sports Network. We'd like to thank everybody joining us here for this second half of action between the Cocoa Tigers and the Merritt Island Mustangs. We've got about a minute until the second half kickoff, and a tremendous first half it was. Wasn't expecting this coming in to be such a great game, but this Merritt Island team has fed off this O-Dome crowd, and that student section is live. And Merritt Island's going to receive the second half kickoff from the Tigers. The Tigers finished off the first half with a field goal, about a 30-yard field goal nailed right through the uprights by their MVP of the last game, Keelan Gonzalez. That's been the one bright spot through these first two games for the Cocoa Tigers, along with their dark side defense.
Yeah, and if nothing else, he's shown obviously consistency with the field goals, but even last game he had a 40-plus yarder. That could be pretty. That obviously gives you more of a leeway for scoring. You get a little, get more of the field becomes a scoring range when you have a kicker who can nail 40, maybe even 45-yard field goals.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a weapon to have as an offense. As the Tigers are back from warming up from the end zone, the receiving team for the Mustangs taking the field. And Kevin Verpale has the junior quarterback for this Mustangs team has had a little bit of trouble trying to connect with his receivers in rhythm. You've seen a couple of balls, a little bit behind one receiver and a little bit to the right of the other. So big thing at halftime for Verpale is to get on track with his receivers. The only touchdown scored in this game was by number 8, Deshaun Thompson, on a little wildcat run from about the 2-yard line.
I will say for Verpale, he was really getting into a groove on that interception drive that ended in a touchdown, and even though it was a short drive that only had a couple plays, had a nice couple connections on that drive that ended off the half. So definitely positive momentum trending upward for the Mustangs. Let's see if they can carry it over to the second half.
And Gonzalez set to kick it away to the Mustangs. As the second half of week one begins. It's going to be returnable for Merritt Island. He's trying to find a crease up the middle, but absolutely nowhere to go. That Tigers special teams unit all over that one. Barely gets it out to their own 20-yard line. And again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Tales at the Bakery. All their information at the bottom of our screen. I'd like to thank everybody joining us here on this amazing week one under the Friday night lights. And all rain this morning, all rain this afternoon, but when it comes time to football, no rain. And that's what we like to see. Yeah, that's right. O-Dome around the O-Dome prevents the rain from coming here to Merritt Island when they're playing some football. As Verpale ready to lead this offense to try to take the lead from the Cocoa Tigers. Motions a man and motion hands it off up the middle and nowhere to go. Dark side defense all over that one there. As a couple of Tigers, that whole defensive line all over that one. First one I'd seen at the bottom of the pile come up was number 44, Tremaine Wells. Haven't called his name yet today, but making an impact here to start the second half. I just keep seeing floaties and beach balls flying. It is a great atmosphere at the O-Dome. So after a loss of 2, the Mustangs backed up, 2nd and 12. Verpale motions 2 receivers to his left. Verpale, quick sling outside and dropped. He tried to run before he caught the football. The intended receiver that time was number 13, Drew Sarver. And Sarver looked ahead before he actually secured that football. Ended up in a drop pass and a 3rd and 12. Not how the Mustangs drew up the start to the half. Verpale takes the snap, rolls right. Now he's in a bit of trouble throws it out of bounds, but I don't know. And they're not going to get him for an intentional grounding. Said he was outside of that tackle box. Luckily for the Merritt Island Mustangs, it's just going to be an incompletion. But unlucky for them, it's a 4th and 12, and they're forced to punt.
Unfortunately, excluding that last drive that was only about like 20 seconds, they've had 4 3-and-outs and then that 1 touchdown drive. So unfortunately to start to the half for the Mustangs, they'll give the ball right back to Coco.
Yeah, and it's how your defense have played. You hope your offense has come along to pick up the scraps. This defense has played out of their minds against this electric Coco offense.
But again, it's that dark side defense. They had that nickname for a reason.
And Miller, strong left boot, and pressure's on, but he gets it away. Nice little punt. Let's see if it takes a Mustangs bounce, and it does. It's going to roll all the way to the 40, and they stopped it early, to the 41-yard line. So great punt from about his own 5-yard line by Miller to flip the field position. The Tigers still have decent field position at their own 41-yard line.
We talk about Coco's kicker being an advantage to their offense. How about Merritt Island's punter being an advantage to their defense?
Yeah, absolutely. He's made some great punts, and he hasn't let Coco return the football, which is a good thing for the Mustang special teams unit because you don't want to get these Coco Tigers out in space. And for the Tigers offense, I'm sure a stern talking to was given to this offense about penalties. Penalties have degraded this offense so much. That's Silver's on a little turnaround screen pass. He's going to carry a couple of Mustangs close to that first down marker. And they are going to give him a 2nd and inches instead of the fresh set of downs. Smith takes a snap, fires over the middle. That's again Silver's on, and he keeps going, piling towards the 30-yard line as the Tigers quick start to this half, kind of the same way they started this ball game. Quick passes, getting chunk yards out in space.
And again, obviously points are earned, not given, but you got to figure that Coco probably could have at least 7 to 10 more points if it weren't for penalties. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Smith, quick pass outside. Caught it, but no gain on the play. Pushed out of bounds before he could get upfield. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Smith tries the hard count, doesn't get it. Takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, and the linebacker's all over that one. That one, Jarvis Howe, he has been all over the field from that Mike linebacker position. He's been great at exploding onto the ball while also kind of keeping an eye on Champ Smith coming out of the backfield with sneaky legs. And sideline warning. It's still going to be 3rd and 5 after the 5-yard gain by Smith.
And again, that's a big tackle because obviously, as we've seen, Smith has some legs on him, so being able to contain him on that one was huge for Merritt Island.
Smith takes a snap, fires outside, and again, just a bit out of touch with his receivers. We've seen that a couple times, and it's mostly been on 3rd down, unfortunately, for the Tigers. Just either the receiver drops the ball or it's a little bit out of reach from Smith. Not putting it on the money there for the first down.
And it's either in 3rd down or the red zone. 2 places you cannot have key drops like that.
Tigers, no hesitation, is going to go for it on this 4th and 5. Big turning point in this game if the Mustangs can step up and stop the Tigers. Smith, one back to his left. Takes the snap, fires, and it's intercepted by the Mustangs. The Mustangs take over at their own 21-yard line. And I know you may say, oh, we'll just hit the ball down for an extra, 4 yards. But that energy you get when you pick it, you're not swatting that ball down. Absolutely. You're catching it 10 times out of 10. It's only a 4-yard difference.
Especially when you jumped around like he did. And honestly, I know, Coco, you want to punch him in the mouth. You kind of want to put him away here in this 3rd quarter. But with the kicker you have, honestly, I feel like you might have wanted to try that, honestly.
And that drive, it felt very scripted, the decision making
Yes.
of Champ Smith. It felt like he was firing that ball no matter what. That DB was all over that out route, and he was firing it no matter what, because either the coach told him to or it's made up in his head.
And give credit to Merritt Island. It was burning them in the first half, but they've really stepped up to the plate here in the second half.
Yeah, and they took a couple of hits, a couple 15, a couple 10-yard gains, and they bounced right back, get a turnover the interception. Second interception of the game for Champ Smith. That one a handoff, tries to bounce outside, only gets about 3 yards.
And get back to their defense. It goes back to bend but don't break. They've taken a lot of hits today, but fact of the matter is they've only allowed 10 points to this Cocoa team, and again, have a chance to tie or take the lead on this drive.
Absolutely. Under 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Mustangs 2nd and 7. Second drive of the half. Another handoff, and just still barely gets past that line of scrimmage. Maybe gets one out of that run, but that defensive line, that stout defensive line for the Tigers, holding strong, makes it a third and manageable for the Mustangs. One of the guys on that tackle was Jermaine Waters, that defensive end, coming off that end, collapsing on the run. And that's going to be an offsides. We'll see who jumped first. I believe it was the Cocoa Tigers.
That would be another killer penalty if you're Cocoa.
And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Oh, no, they're going to move the sticks. So it's going to be a first down for the Merritt Island Mustangs, and more penalties come to haunt Cocoa, now coming on the defensive side of the football.
Again, and a lot of these are coming on 3rd down or like coming on 2nd down to set up a 3rd down along or move the chains if you're on defense. So Cocoa with some big-time mistakes here, keeping Merritt Island drive alive.
Verpale takes a snap, another handoff. That time it's to Adams. Adams so far proved to be their best runner, and he kind of got flipped up there. Tigers want a flag, but it's going to be about a 3-yard gain for Elaine Adams. Second and 8 for the Mustangs. Verpale takes the snap, fakes the handoff, fires over the middle. That time caught, but hit and driven all the way back. But forward momentum is going to give them right at that first down marker. Maybe a first down. We'll see what they say.
A brace for impact. That was a big-time hit by Cocoa.
Femi Howard Jr. on the reception. And they're going to give him a fresh set of downs. So way to handle that hit and handle the ball by Femi Howard. Nice job by Verpale to get it out fast and right to that marker. Adams to his right. He's going to hand it off. He's going to fake the handoff. He's got a man deep. He's got a step overthrown. And he had the rare step on this bona fide Cocoa defensive backfield.
That's one you're going to want back because if he had got that, he was gone. He had daylight in front of him. And then you're talking about like a 60-plus yard touchdown to give yourself the lead. That's a huge momentum boost that they just lost out on.
The intended receiver that time was Drew Sarver. He had a step on the deep safety. Verpale, another quick pass in the air and cannot capitalize. This is the Tigers. Looks like number 7, Raymond McCoy, had an interception in his hands. And you see him doing push-ups on the field because he dropped that interception.
Back-to-back plays that could have turned the tides for either team, but instead we're on 3rd and 10 here.
And again, just a little out of rhythm is Verpale with his receivers, just a little bit high. A step away from that big touchdown pass. Verpale now in the backfield. Adams to his right motions the receiver. That's Hamilton in motion, now stays at the top of your screen. Tried the hard count on the Tigers defense. Not going to work. And that's an early timeout for these Mustangs with 6:48 to go. That could prove to be costly as we get later in this close ball game. I'd like to thank our sponsor of this ball game, one of our sponsors, Tails at the Bakery. Tails at the Bakery has a variety of fresh treats made on site. Soft treats and hypoallergenic treats are also available, and they take the custom orders and have unique cat and dog wear. For more information, you can visit www.tailsatthebakery.com, and you can call them at 321-305-4584. What they really like is when you visit, and they are easy to find in historic Cocoa Village at 14 Olander Street. Go visit our friends there at Tails at the Bakery. As a big 3rd and 10 for these Mustangs. Verpale in the gun, takes the snap, running back leaves the backfield. Fires over the middle and prevented an interception was the intended receiver, number 13, Drew Sarver. And again, just a bit out of stride. You could say that was a catchable ball, but it's just these early season mishaps that happen. They try to get the flow of things here. Verpale hasn't quite found that flow in the second half.
And it's unfortunate because Merritt Island, I feel like they were starting to string it together a little bit. Unfortunately, I feel like that was one of their better drives of the game. Obviously, it's kind of easy with all their 3 and outs, but it just sucks because I felt they were gaining momentum on that one, but unfortunately, a couple missed deep balls.
And that time the punt skied straight in the air. Merritt Island is not going to be happy with that punt. Usually we were just giving him credit. Oh, that time it was Verpale. So it looked like they were going for maybe a fake punt, but Verpale skied it straight in the air. And I get the play there. You want to try to pin them deep, stop the return, but your punter's been so great with his leg, pinning them deep. Now you give them great field position at their own 46-yard line.
And, I mean, you have to go out and ask the defense, hey, get another stop. And it's been working so far, but eventually defense gets tired, and especially when now they have a pretty short field to work with. Looking like Cocoa could probably cash in with just about 20 yards. They could probably cash in with at least a field goal.
And we're going to get a water break. Our officials timeout. 6:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Let's check some scores around the county here. Got some good games going here on the Brevard Sports Network. One of those games being Heritage at Titusville. And Heritage was once up 13-0, now 13-7. Titusville trails in the 3rd quarter. Rockledge leads Vieira 21-7 in the 3rd. And now back to action here. Champ back to pass. Deep ball. One-on-one coverage. Underthrown. Picked off. Intercepted by Merritt Island. Number 3 for the Mustangs. That time, Devontae Peterson in coverage. And he was all over that route from the start.
And we just said, hey, it's going to be tough to keep asking him to get stopped, but Merritt Island just stepped up again. A 3rd interception of the game. We saw last week at Bradford, Cocoa lost the turnover battle, and they're losing it here again. Lucky to still be leading with how many interceptions they've thrown so far.
And it feels like, it's week 1. You got 10 new starters on offense for Cocoa. It's not like we expected them to come out here and score 40 points.
Of course.
But for 3 interceptions, and he just kind of looks uncomfortable back there. He's had the time. No sacks in this ball game for Merritt Island. He's scrambled a couple times. He's underthrown receivers. Little above receivers, overthrown them. It's just kind of a little uncomfortableness from Champ Smith in that backfield for the Cocoa Tigers.
It's the 3 interceptions coupled with the 0 for Merritt Island. I know they've got 3 and out, which is why they're down, but just taking care of the football, it's going to come back to bite. It's going to catch up with you eventually.
And the Mustangs take over at their own 12-yard line. Verpale fakes the handoff. Now he's going to roll right. Now he's got to kind of force it, and it's caught! What a beautiful pass by Verpale! And that's the chemistry I'm talking about. It was there. They just had to kind of find it. Number 3, Keith Hamilton on the reception, the junior connection. That was a tremendous pass and catch by Hamilton and Verpale.
It's only a matter of time before they're going to start getting going here.
And Verpale now trying to speed things up, now slowing it down. Motion in a receiver. Verpale takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Adams. Adams cuts back, but nowhere to go in the middle of the defense for Adams.
And every single time there's a big play, without fail, this Merritt Island crowd is always behind the team. And honestly, that's got to feel good if you're trying to make this comeback here. Gives you a little bit more of a reason to go, reason to drive for that extra yard, make that extra tackle, all these other things.
Yeah, you've seen it from both sides of the football. Now Merritt Island finally getting their feet under them and getting some yards. Verpale fakes the handoff, quick strike, caught. That's going to be a couple yards short of the first down, but a productive gain on second. Caught by Dontarius Robinson Jr. and haven't called his name a whole lot. I know C.J. Hester is manning up, the 4-star Florida commit, so it's been tough to get open. That time a quick little pass, soft coverage by the Tigers. Brings up a 3rd and 3. Fakes the jet sweep. Verpale up the middle. He's going to get the first down. And he likes that, and so does this Merritt Island crowd as they are putting together a productive drive here in the 3rd quarter as they go into Tigers territory.
What a read by Verpale. He had to make a split-second decision. He made the right one because he had Tigers around him. Definitely got a big-time gain there.
4 minutes, 45 seconds and ticking here in the 3rd. All the momentum on this Mustang side. Verpale again motions. This time hands it off. That time up the middle and another big gain. That time number 9, Rondé Monroe.
I know when I said in the first half I was referring to Coco wearing down Merritt Island, but honestly I feel like you've seen the reverse on the other side, at least on this side.
Absolutely. It seemed that way so far. Monroe with a good quick burst of 9. 2nd and 1. Verpale, time to take a shot and through the hands of Robinson. That time it was on the money. Robinson had a look at it but went through the hands. But 2nd and 1, that's the time you take that 10, 15 yard, maybe even to the end zone shot because you still have that 3rd and 1. And they are in 4-down territory inside Tigers territory.
I was about to say, yeah, with the way this game's been going, this has to be 4th down territory easily, especially with how close they are to the first.
And the power back, Adams in the backfield. Lined up to Verpale's left. We'll see if they just hand it off. Coco stacking a box. And they just hand it off. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more. This Merritt Island team moving with a little bit of swagger. Now in this 3rd drive of the half after going a couple 3 and outs.
And the difference between the gaps in the first half and the second half are night and day. They were getting stuffed at the line every single run, and now they're just exploding for 5, 6, 7 yards.
That time handing it off. Still falls forward for a gain of about 2. Number 22, Alex Hernandez. Three minutes, 45 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Coco leads 10-7. 2nd and 8 for the Stangs. As Verpale gets the motion from the sideline. I believe that's Hernandez to his right. Verpale fakes it to Hernandez, gets it to the tight end, caught by number 8, Deshaun Thomas, the tall and lengthy tight end, proven to use his length to, and looks like he's banged up on the field. That's not good.
What a beat by Verpale on the RPO, taking it away at the last second for a pass. But
and you hate to see that. Looks like Thomas a little banged up on that play. 3:05 to go here in the third. Look, we have an injury timeout. And hopefully he's all right. Again, like to thank our sponsors and like to thank everybody joining us here on this. So far, has to be game of the night. 10-7, 3:05 to go in the third. Nobody, I'm going to be honest, nobody, especially me, expected Merritt Island to come out here and put up a reasonable fight against this Tigers offense. I thought the Tigers offense were going to hit their stride, especially seeing that Merritt Island allowed 6 passing touchdowns just a week prior. So for Merritt Island to be able to bounce back, and looks like we're going to get a flag on sportsmanlike conduct on the defense. I'm not that flag was just thrown, and even with the player down.
Huge penalty for Coco, especially with Merritt Island driving. This is the last thing you want. He's only going to come out for one play, though.
Thomas able to get up, put his helmet back on, and jog off to the sideline. That's what we like to see there. And as I was saying, nobody expected Merritt Island to compete with this Cocoa Tigers team. I know it's a different look for these Cocoa Tigers. They're also trying to get their feet down. But for Merritt Island just to come back, especially out of the half, having a 3 and out, not even just the drive before, and just to electrify that one pass. Now they're breaking off 5 yards, 6 yards, 7-yard gains up through the middle of this dark side defense.
And I know we say there's a new changing of the guard in Coco, but when you have a championship pedigree, people don't really care who you have playing. They expect greatness, they expect to win, and that's kind of why we're both a little bit surprised here that Merritt Island just keep holding their own with this Coco Tiger team.
Yeah, and talking about this championship pedigree, Cocoa Tigers in their history has 7 state championships. 7. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2016, and then this previous three-peat, 2022, 2023, and last year, 2024. They're trying to make history and become the first team to four-peat a state championship. And whistles are blown again. Not sure what the call is here. And if that's timeout Merritt Island, they're down to 1 timeout for the second half. That would be brutal.
That could be really bad if you're looking at a late game situation. You better hope you're in the lead. Yeah, that could come back to be. We're not even in the fourth, and they only have 1 left.
2:40 to go here in the third.
Playing here, obviously situation varies, but do you think this is 4-down territory?
It's got to be 4-down territory. I mean, their kicker has been great. So, but if it's a 4th and 5 and lower, it's 4-down territory. You got to go.
That makes sense.
Fresh set of downs after the 15-yarder by Coco. Verpeil's going to keep it himself. Looked like he had the space outside, but decided to cut back in. Still a decent gain of about 5 yards that time for Verpeil. And this drive is the first time we've seen Verpeil actually tuck it and run, and he's gained over about 15 yards doing so.
His decision-making on those RPOs has been excellent, and it's a big reason why they're driving right now.
Hamilton, the lone receiver to the left of your screen. Verpeil lined up in the backfield with Monroe to his left. Motions a receiver. He's going to hand it off, trying to get outside. Great defensive tackle that time by number 20, O'Keefe Battle. And we talked about his tackling earlier in this ball game, kind of pregame. 81 tackles last season, proved to be a fierce defender, and that time proves us right.
That's a big-time tackle. It really stunts any momentum Merritt Island was picking up. Now, of course, it's a big-time 3rd down here. And, yeah, like we were just saying, looking like it might be 4-down territory. I don't know, though.
3rd and 7 after the loss of 2 on the previous play. That time the carry by Sarver. Verpeil with Monroe to his right, fakes the pass. He's got pressure in his face, he's got to get it away. And No flag. We got a receiver in the area. So 4th and 7, and it looks like they're sending out the field goal team. And, you know, it's like that line, that 4th and 5. Take the points. Like you said, that defense has been playing great, and the Cocoa offense has been struggling. So you need to take the points while you can get them and tie up this ball game.
Especially with, I mean, only 1 minute left of the third, it would be killer if you take off all this time, drive all this way down to come up empty-handed.
Yeah. It's going to be the sure kicker, number 14, Liam Miller. Proving to make some clutch punts. Snap high, Verpil able to control it, and it gets through the uprights. Tie ball game here at the O-Dome. And an unexpected, what's turning out to be a game of the night. 10-10, the Mustangs tie up the Tigers. Crowd continues to get into this ball game more. I feel like every time I look down from the press box, I just see more and more people flooding into that student section. More floaties flying through the air, more water flying through the air. Everything is clicking right now for Merritt Island, and the sole reason for me is this crowd.
Yep, and they, again, the student section has not sat down, and we are almost in the 4th quarter here. Got to give credit to them. They've definitely played a factor in what Merritt Island is hoping to pull off the upset.
Mustangs get set to kick it away to the Tigers as 1:06 remains here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers have 3 interceptions to the Mustangs 0. So turnover differential 3-0, and that's a huge reason why Merritt Island is in this ball game.
And on 2 of those 3 interceptions, Merritt Island has all their points off of interceptions. So, I mean, you got to point to that as the reason that this game is a tie game.
And that kick goes out to the back of the end zone. And the Tigers take over. I think it's the 25 now. It used to be the 20. It is going to be the 20. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Silver's on one of those receivers with a touchdown. It looks like Scott's back in the game. Scott with an explosive run outside, able to get about 6 yards on that run. And that's a huge win for the Cocoa Tigers to see Javion Scott back in this ball game.
You're going to need his playmaking here in the final 10 minutes. Or, sorry, 12 minutes.
The Tigers are taking their time. 2nd and 6 coming up. Champ drops back to pass, almost jumped by the defensive back. Zachary Olsen was all over that out route. And we keep talking about how this Merritt Island defense has made adjustments, but they could have housed that so easily. He was all over that ball. Olsen jumped on the pass by Smith.
If he was able to get his hands on it, he was gone. Again, daylight in front of him. And you talk about turning the time to being momentum. That would have been huge.
3rd and 6 now. Crowd on their feet. Fires over the middle. Caught. And it's dropped. Are they going to call that a fumble? Looks like they're going to call it a fumble. I don't see a ruling for an incomplete. And it is Mustangs football inside the Tigers territory. And this game has flipped on its head as the Mustangs look to take the lead.
Hate to keep harping on it, but that's 3 straight drives of ending in a turnover for Cocoa. That cannot happen.
That time, Tank White, I believe there was a receiver, got popped right on that ball side. That's how you teach your safety to hit, and he did the right thing. And I look like I see a yellow flag on the field, and they're going to say it unsportsmanlike on Merritt Island. So that's going to push him back 15 yards. I'm not quite sure what happened or what was said. I'm not down there, so lots of penalties. They must be very tight down there on what's being said between players.
And that's a tough one because I believe that knocks you out of Cocoa territory.
Yeah, it does. Puts it right inside their own 48.
That is a hard one, especially if you come up a few yards
But nonetheless, it's Mustangs football right around that 50-yard line. The fourth turnover for struggling is an understatement for this Tigers offense right now.
I'm not sure the exact number, but I think that's the second turnover in like 5 plays. Like, they've been turning them over very quick in the second half.
The Mustangs with all momentum on their side. 1st and 10 at their own 48. Unsportsmanlike conduct, pushing back 15 after the fumble. Verpale takes the snap. It's going to hand it off the gut. It's going to be a gain, forward progress, maybe give him 3 on that play. Alex Hernandez on the carry.
And obviously you were kind of starting to feel the momentum shift on that first interception. But when we get into these late stages, we're about to hit the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. Merritt Island pushing, it starts to feel a little more real. It feels like, hey, we can do this. And we have the drive, and we have the team to do it. But we have one more quarter.
As the fours come up on this Merritt Island sideline, and you can see this crowd is pumped up. Look at this crowd. Look at that student section on their feet. Every single body on their feet. I'd like to thank everybody joining us during this spectacular Week 1 matchup between the Tigers and the Mustangs. This is just, you can't script a game like this.
That's why we play the game.
For the drama lovers out there, this is the game you need to watch. This is unbelievable football by both sides of the football. "12 minutes on the clock for the fourth quarter. Verpale takes a snap. There's a flag on the play. Swung outside to Robinson, and he's hit, but he eats that hit, and he's going to get the first down. But there's a flag in the backfield. Most of the time when you see that flag by the quarterback, it's going to be a holding penalty. We'll see what the white cap says. And I believe that's an illegal shift motion. I'm not quite sure what that pushing motion was. But that's going to set them back behind the sticks. They're going to replay second down. Instead of 2nd and 6, it's going to be a 2nd and about 13 yards now. Verpale now trying to lead his team back into Tigers territory. 2nd and 12 for the Mustangs. Verpale takes the snap. He's got a lot of time to throw. Now pushed outside. He's going to sling it sidearm, and it's dropped right at the sideline. Tough catch, not able to hang on. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
I mean, good awareness by Verpale, because he saw the rusher coming from behind him. It could have been a strip sack if he didn't step up.
Third and long for the Mustangs. Huge third down, 11:22 to go here at the start of the fourth. Verpale steps back, pressure coming from his backside, slings it. No receiver in the area, incomplete pass, and the pressure getting to Verpale on the last 2 downs. That time by Jermaine Waters and number 50, Charvis Redmond Thompson.
Obviously, we've been giving a lot of credit to the Merritt Island defense, and as we should, but give credit to Coco. All the momentum was on Merritt Island's side. They were marching into plus territory, and they were able to get a big-time stop on that one.
Looks Looks like we got a player down at midfield, so we're going to take an injury timeout. .11:14 to go. We're going to take an injury timeout to take our sponsor, Gamers R Us. Gamers R Us is back on BSN supporting the Cocoa Tigers. And if you have a gamer in your life, you are in luck because Gamers R Us is a growing gaming community focused on card, board, tabletop, and video games. We host casual and competitive tournaments for Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Super, and more. All the information for Gamers R Us will appear at the bottom of your screen. I'd like to thank you all for joining us at the start of this fourth quarter. 11:14 to go. Mustangs fourth, face of 4th and 12. 10-10 the score. Looks like they're going to punt. I don't imagine they would go for it here. There's lots of injuries on the field. I don't know if it's cramps, hot night, humid night here at the O-Dome. And that's for Pale. Looks like back to punt. And it's going to take a beautiful Merritt Island roll, and he runs into his own player. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line. Amazing coverage by this Merritt Island special teams unit. And special teams for Merritt Island has been the sweet spot. It's been what's tying this ball game up, what's feeding this squad so far.
Yeah, I mean, don't discredit the plus of having a punter who can boot it 20 extra yards, giving their defense a little bit more breathing room, especially when they need it with this game dwindling down to the fourth quarter.
Champ Smith takes a snap, is going to hand it off, a little misdirection. That's Scott trying to break through. Did he lose the football? Did Merritt Island jump on this football? No, they're going to say Coco ball. He did lose the ball. Luckily, Coco able to jump on that ball. That would have been huge for the Mustangs.
I mean, I know Coco's kind of been able to get some stops on these, some stops on these turnovers, but that one would have been a hard ass for the defense, to be honest with you.
And we got a flag on the far side of the field, or the near side of the field here. And they're going to get Merritt Island for a sideline. I don't know if it's just going to be a warning or they're going to throw the flag. We'll see what they say. And no, they're actually going to get a flag. I believe that's a 5-yard penalty. So instead of a 2nd and 10, it's going to bring up 2nd and 5. Another penalty in this ball game. 10:25 to go. Champ Smith looks back to pass, slings it over the middle, and out of stride. I don't know if that was on the receiver or Smith. The intended receiver that time was Tank White. Brings up 3rd and about 5 or 6. Huge 3rd down for both of these squads.
Hate to be cliche here, but this is a big 3rd down.
The junior quarterback Smith looking to capitalize on the 5-yard penalty. Smith over the middle, caught. It's going to be right at that 1st down. We're going to see what it is. He might be short. See what the sideline judge says. They're going to keep him at, no, they're going to give him the 1st down. Barely. barely enough for a fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Going to bring out 1st and 10. Smith tosses it outside to Scott, trying to get Scott in space. He's got electric speed that time. Great tackle by Jarvis Howe. Again, another tackle to his name all over the field tonight for the Mustangs. Second and 6 for the Tigers. Quick pass again. Almost jump, but instead caught and corralled. About 3 yards short of that first down marker. I believe that was Olsen on the outside. No, excuse me, that was Kamar Fielder making the stop. Force a 3rd and short for these Tigers. I don't see why they just wouldn't give it to Scott here. Scott lined up to Smith's right. 3rd and 2. Now motion to the left. Smith takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Scott, and Scott's going to fight. We'll see what the sideline official says. It's going to be close. Tavion Scott tried fighting for that first down. Credit to the Merritt Island defensive line for staying strong. And they're going to give him the first down. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers on another close call.
And again, this is that time of the game where every single yard means that much more.
And looked like a ball was loose, but it was just a helmet. Another quick pass by the Tigers, gone nowhere. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Smith takes a snap. It's going to be a little screen pass to Scott, and it's blown up again by Jarvis Howe all over the field. Pushed an offensive lineman back into Scott, causing an incompletion on the screen pass.
That's a big-time play because if he was able to come up with that, he had some room to run, and obviously he's a dangerous playmaker, but instead of getting 5 to 6 yards, we're stuck at 0. It's a 3rd down and 10. Really big pivotal play here.
3rd and 10 for the Tigers. Pivotal 3rd down for both of these squads. Coming down the stretch with 7:45 to go here in the 4th. Champ Smith, the junior quarterback, surveying the defense before he hacks the ball. Smith back to pass, steps up in the pocket, and that is out of bounds. And the Merritt Island Mustangs force a 4th and 10, and you got to punt if you're the Tigers here. You have no choice.
And if you're Merritt Island here, I don't know. Obviously there's still 7-ish minutes left, but I feel like most plays are 4th down territory here because you might only get the ball back 1 to 2 more times. Got to realistically start thinking about the clock here.
And almost blocked. That one's sky high. Not going very far. It's not even going to get past the 50. And it takes a Mustangs bounce. And the Mustangs jump on it. And they take over after a really questionable punt. They're going to take over at Tigers territory at the Tigers 39-yard line. Couple, maybe first down or 2, they're in field goal range.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you couldn't really script it much better. You're well inside the Cocoa yard line. Again, like you said, not that far off from a field goal. Got to capitalize on this one.
Verpale and the Stangs take over First and 10 at the Tigers 39. 7.5 to go here in the fourth. Verpale takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. He's going to flip fields, go east to west. He's got a crease. He's going to jump forward for the first down. What a run that time by Keith Hamilton on the wide receiver sweep. Absolutely went east to west and somehow went north for a first down for the Mustangs, excuse me.
I'm not going to lie, it looks like he got swallowed up in the backfield. So for him to turn that for positive yardage, let alone a first down, another huge chunk yardage play for the Merritt Island.
And looks like we have a whistle. Looks like maybe a Tigers timeout. Or it could be a official's timeout. And it was ruled initially a second down. I'll just say it looked like a first down to me. And that's what they're going to give it. They're going to give it a first and 10. Fresh set of downs for the Stangs. Verpale takes the snap, fakes the handoff over the middle field. Oh, he had a man! And it's through the hands of the intended receiver, Dontarius Robinson. He had him a little high, definitely catchable football. Like another situation where they try to run the ball before they actually catch it.
Oh, you're going to want that one back. I think he saw the end zone in front of him, got a little too greedy. That one hurts if you're Merritt Island.
So instead of a big gain, it's going to be second and 10 after the incompletion and drop pass. 6:40 to go here in the fourth. Week 1 action. Verpale takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Adams. Adams going to pile forward for a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. And honestly, the way that Miller is kicking this football, maybe another couple more yards in their field goal range. I don't want to say they're in field goal range now. I'm not quite sure of what his range is, but he has got a boot on him.
And again, do you think the principle still applies? 4th and 5 or less, or do you think it's like 4th and 3 or less we go for it?
I think I like what they're doing now. They're winding the clock down because they know their defense can stop Cocoa. Do you want to try to get a first down here? If it's 4th and 1, I'd say maybe. Other than that, you got to take your points in such a close ball game.
I agree.
Adams takes the handoff up the middle. He's not going to get that first down. Tries for a second effort. And he break free. Oh my goodness, did they score a touchdown on that play? No, he didn't. Alien Adams. Did he score on that play? Are you kidding? Looked like he was going to be short of the first down marker. All of a sudden, you just see a blur in the end zone for the Mustangs, and the O-Dome is on fire.
That slow play right there is a perfect representation of what we've seen the entire game. Merritt Island winning their way, the extra yard, the extra effort, and that's the reason they're in the lead right now with 5:39 to go.
I mean, what a miraculous play for Adams, the running back. He's proven to be their strong back, their power back, and there he shows his resiliency of not giving up. That second win. 16-10, an extra point away from leading by 7 against the reigning state championship Cocoa Tigers, and that's exactly what the Mustangs do. 17-10, the Stangs lead the Tigers.
And I honestly think we're looking at a tale of two halves. I know I said it before, but we got to remember, Merritt Island couldn't even break past the line of scrimmage on runs earlier. Now they're breaking off these huge runs for touchdowns. it's truly a testament to how they've worn down this Cocoa defense.
It is absolute mayhem here at the O-Dome, and for good reason. This is a heck of a game we have on our hands. Nobody expected this. I bet half the students in the student section did not expect this game from the Merritt Island Mustangs. .5:39 to go here in the fourth. Mustangs lead 17-10. And they're going to give the ball back to a Cocoa offense that has 2 consecutive drives, 2 consecutive turnovers, and a total of 4 in this ball game. 3 interceptions and 1 fumble.
I mean, that's where you got to look. You can't look anywhere other than that. 4 turnovers to 0. That's the reason Merritt Island's in the lead and Cocoa's up.
And Miller boots this one. It's going to be a little ground ball. And McCarthy able to stay on top of that one. McCarthy up the middle. He's staying strong. Tried to break loose there. That was a little scary for Merritt Island. Good wrap up. Going to be brought down at about the 26-yard line of the Tigers. Going into this week, people said, oh, Rockledge Viera, game of the week. Oh, Heritage Titusville, game of the week. No, right here at the home of the Stangs, the O-Dome, here in Merritt Island. It is absolute chaos. I'm honestly still in shock from that run. I just can't believe that how stout that Cocoa Tigers defense was.
Yeah,
and they just let that go.
I thought they might have pushed him for a first down. I didn't think he was going for a touchdown. But when you say game of the week, you might have thought, oh, game of the week because it's Cocoa. You know, they're the champions. Not because Merritt Island's giving them a good fight, going punch for punch with them. Certainly we didn't expect that tonight, but got to give them their flowers.
Not only punch for punch, they are out punching the
Yes,
Cocoa Tigers right now. The junior quarterback, Champ Smith, facing early troubles, and that one's fired and caught over the middle. And the first reception of the second half for Jamal Smith, the guy who had about 8 catches in that first half, gets his first catch, 5.5 in the fourth quarter. That one good for about 17 yards, going to bring up a fresh set of downs for the Tigers.
They're going to need more of that if they want to tie this game back up.
Champ Smith drops back to pass. Got all day. That offensive line doing a great job. He's going to take off, and he gets down inbounds. Clock will continue to run. And Merritt Island has a player down. Not great for the Mustangs. They'll stop the clock, and hopefully he is okay. Looks like maybe just cramps is sitting up. And that stops the clock for the Tigers. 4:58 to go here in the fourth. Injury timeout for the Mustangs.
You got to think with 4:58 to go, already up 7. I mean, one stop and you're probably looking good, but obviously still a lot of game left to play. But you got to feel like the fans especially feel it on this drive for sure.
He's able to get up on his own power. Back to the sideline. Hopefully just cramps. Very human. I know I said it twice, but super human out tonight, leading to all these cramps. 2nd and 6. Crowd is blasting the bleachers. Screen pass. Looks like it was dropped. Incomplete pass. 4:47 on the clock. 3rd and 7 for the Tigers. If Merritt Island gets a stop here, Cocoa is down to 2 timeouts. The way that they ran the football in the second half, they could easily bleed out the clock and end this ball game with the ball in their hands.
You especially can't tackle like you did on that last play if you want to have any chance of getting this ball back.
Smith trying to stop that from happening. Fires over the middle. Intercepted! The Mustangs intercepted, and he takes a knee at the 50. The 4th interception for the Mustangs. And the crowd is fired up. Devontae Peterson, the third separate defensive back for this Merritt Island squad to get an interception against the junior quarterback, Champ Smith.
And it might go overlooked, but what a smart heads-up play to slide instead of trying to return that, keeping possession of the ball, not taking any risks. And wow, I mean, 4 interceptions, 5 turnovers as a whole. Merritt Island's looking very good right now with the ball in the field.
Just so uncharacteristic from this Cocoa Tigers football team. It's been so long since we've seen anything like this happen.
I don't care who you are. 5 turnovers should be unrealistic for anyone. This is an insane turnover battle that Merritt Island is winning easily.
4.5 to go. Game is not over yet. I believe Cocoa has 2 timeouts, maybe 3. I believe it's only 2.
Well, like you said, with the way they're running this ball, they can easily bleed the clock out.
And delay a game on Merritt Island. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Sets them to 1st and 15. First and 15 for Verpale and the Stangs. Got to keep the ball on the ground here. You cannot let Cocoa get a chance to stop this clock. That's Adams. He's going to take the ball. He's going to put his shoulder down, pile ahead for a gain of about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12.
You think Cocoa uses their timeouts here, or you think they have enough?
I think they wait. They wait until Merritt Island gets another first down. 2nd and 12, there's no need to burn your timeouts. You want your timeouts for when you're on offense. With 4:10 to go, 4:10 and ticking, Merritt Island is going to try to burn every last second they can off this clock before they give this ball back.
Even if you give it back in the 3 and out, Cocoa's probably looking at no more than 2.5 minutes, and they got to go down the field, score a touchdown, something they haven't done since very early on in the game. I believe it was the 2nd drive.
Verpale takes the snap. Blitz coming from the Tigers. He looks like he's going to pass it, and he's got a man, and he's going to get a first down, and he stays in bounds. Number 8, Deshaun Thomas, and what a play call from the Merritt Island coaching staff.
That's such a veteran play by Verpale again with the RPO, just pulling out at the last possible second, finding the read.
Oh, holding penalty on Merritt Island. Oh, that's brutal. Wow, that negates such a big play. I believe it's going to come back right about to that line of scrimmage.
Oh, the fans are letting him hear it.
Wow, that hurts. You had a first down. You had the game almost. Pretty much had the game. Now it's going to be a 2nd and 15, but heck of a play call, gutsy play call. Play action, screen dump to the tight end. I mean, heck of a play call from Merritt Island, and we got a man down on the field. No? Okay. Verpale takes the snap. He's going to pull it, and he's got it complete. There he goes. He's going to get the first down and more. Into Cocoa territory. Devontae Peterson, or excuse me, Dontarius Robertson Jr. 3:15 and ticking for this Mustangs football team. They faced all kinds of adversity, and they come out on top again. Let's see if they can continue it here.
What a response. The play gets wiped out. Okay, let's get it the first down and then some.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the 4th. Merritt Island with a fresh set of downs after that big gain by Kevin Verpale and Dontarius Robertson.
Gotta think the timeouts are going to start coming into play here.
Down to 2:45 now on the clock. And we get a flag. Delay a game on the Mustangs.
Obviously, you don't want to take a penalty, but I feel like that was the one you want to take, even up on the clock. As much as you can.
And the student section does not like it, but it's a delay of game. There's nothing you can really do about that. First and 15 for the Mustangs. You got to just hand it off here. And that's what he does, hands it off to Monroe, and Monroe's going to push forward close to the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in this tense ball game.
With all due respect to Merritt Island, I feel like the feeling in the first half was, okay, we're keeping this close. This might be a moral victory. I know there's no moral victories in football, but now the feeling is, hey, let's go win this thing. Let's get one first down, maybe two. Let's go win this thing, pull off a big-time upset in our home opener.
Yeah, absolutely. And what an upset. This might be the upset of the year, honestly, as far as Merritt Island goes.
I mean, it's
In the nation, yeah, could be. I mean, Coco is so honored in this nation, in the state of Florida. And for Merritt Island to pull off a victory here would be huge. Verpeo, high snap, way to control it. Hernandez, he's going to slip through. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards, puts it at 3rd and 8.
Again, those chunk plays have been killing Coco, especially in this fourth quarter. The worst time to be allowing chunk plays on the run, especially when you're doing so well in the first half.
And Coco takes another timeout. I believe that is their last of the game.
Nardo sets up a huge 3rd down here.
And if you're Merritt Island, if you get to a 4th and 3, I think you go.
I was about to ask, where
But
do you consider
that's
going?
depending on Miller's field goal range.
I'm
I'm not too confident on what his range is. And coach is, he knows. He can hit it from 40 yards.
Yeah,
So we're hearing from the booth here in Merritt Island.
Yeah, if he can hit longer field goals, honestly, you might as well send him out. Worst case scenario, you're looking at 2 minutes left. Coco's likely playing for overtime.
Absolutely. 3rd and 8. Big play for Verpeo and the Mustangs. That's Monroe, and Monroe falls forward. That's going to be a gain of about 3 yards. And Coco, I'm guessing, using their final timeout right now. 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Coco using their final timeout of the ball game. And looks like they're going to trot Miller out there to attempt this field goal.
I don't really hate this at all, because if you nail this through, you're up two scores. They got no timeouts, 2 minutes left. Obviously, stranger things have happened, but not looking good for Coco if they nail this field goal.
If he can nail this field goal, that will pretty much put a bow on this ball game.
Absolutely.
Week 1 here on Brevard Sports Network at the home of the Mustangs, the O-Dome, and just tremendous atmosphere, tremendous game, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to trot out the junior kicker, Liam Miller.
The biggest kick of his life right here, easily.
And this is going to be a 44-yard field goal, I believe. 44 yards for Miller. Looking right. No good. Pushed it. No good from the junior kicker. Had the distance, had plenty of distance. Just not on line. And the Tigers have a chance to tie this up with 2 minutes, 16 seconds to go. No timeouts in their pockets. Champ Smith has to show why he became the quarterback of the Coco Tigers right here.
And that's just unfortunate because, like you said, it would have put a bow on it. It would have put a perfect exclamation point on this game, but now Coco gets one last chance to rebel.
Here comes Champ Smith. Smith takes a snap. He's going to roll right. He's going to point down the field. You got to throw it away. He's going to throw it into double coverage. And it's dropped. Did he catch that? He caught that football.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, what a grab. What a toss. I mean, dangerous toss. That was double coverage.
Looked like it was going to be another interception.
Peterson was looking for his second of the ball game, and Smith able to loft it over him. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty on Merritt Island as well.
Oh, that's just terrible. That's just brutal.
They're going to get a rough in the passer, 15 yards. Wow. So Coco struggling on offense, and they get a blessing with that catch and a 15-yard penalty at the end of it.
Life they needed.
Smith takes the snap. Drop back to pass, rolling right. He's going to throw it out of bounds. No, it's caught. Caught right about the 30-yard line, and the Tigers are moving this football.
The 32-yard line will be second down and 5.
And the audio's gotten a little bit louder. Going to plug in the phone, so we're talking from the phone here. Big moment in this game, minute 57. Smith drops back to pass, rolling away, goes on the run, incomplete.
Fastball incomplete.
Incomplete pass that time by Smith. Stops the clock at a minute 49 to go here in the fourth quarter. 17 to 10. Smith drops back to throw. Big third down. Over the middle, caught. He's going to fight for the first, and he gets it. Big catch and pass there by Champ Smith. And Javion Scott on the reception for the Tigers. Smith, quick pass outside, not able to get inbounds. He stays inbounds. Clock continues to tick now, second and long. Under a minute and 20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Smith takes the snap, drops back, rolls right, has a little bit of space, he's going to step out of bounds after gaining a good amount of yardage on that play. Stops the clock at 1 minute and 6 seconds for the Cocoa Tigers. You can hear this crowd getting rowdy on third down. Third and 6. Smith takes the snap, he's going to hand it off to Scott. And Scott's going to run close to the 15-yard line and pass that first down marker. Clock continues to tick. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Smith takes the snap, rolls left, looks for a receiver, doesn't have him, and they get offsides on Merritt Island. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Mustangs. So after the offsides penalty by Merritt Island, that's going to move the ball to the 8-yard line. It's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Tigers. And referee, that's Merritt Island taking a timeout. What a drama-filled ball game we have here tonight. Unbelievable game from both squads. The Merritt Island Mustangs coming out to prove something in week 1 of this high school football season. And the Cocoa Tigers not looking themselves at all. Not the Cocoa Tigers we've seen in the last five and so years. This is a different squad, and a squad that needs to get their chemistry right moving forward for a tough season ahead. short. And he close to that first down marker, but short of the goal line. 38 seconds and ticking for the Tigers. And we got a player down. He's going to pop right back up. He's going to have to come off the field, though. I'm pretty sure that's a delay of game penalty. And there is a player down. They're going to have to come get him.
Again, sorry for the audio changes. Trying to charge your phone in between breaks. This game is going on 3 hours here. 31 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Good to see him jog off the field.
Second down and 2.